So, hello everyone. I'm really impressed. So, can I get my slides? Okay. So, I'm here to talk about not a subject, but more to inspire you about a challenge about innovating with users. This is a challenge, especially not in startups, not in IT companies, but in companies that you may work for, very business-driven companies. For example, my company is Leroy Merlin. And we are not in this activity. We are not even innovation company. We are not even in technology. But we try to innovate, and we try to keep in line with the best requirement, technical requirement, and user-centric requirement as possible. So, Okay. So, as I said, I work for Leroy Merlin. My name is Camille Lequilbec. I'm an IT project manager working in a team of Android developers. So there's Android developers, 20 people, UX designer, product owners, because we work in Agile mode project. Leroy Merlin is a craftwork and building material retailer, so nothing to do with technology. Our team is full stack developers because we want the developers to do back and front and also be as much involved in the front than in the back office business line. And the name of the team is Colibri. Colibri is a hummingbird. Why was this bird chosen for a logo of our team? Because it never stops flying or it died. Happy. So, first a quick story. In 2013, this team was built with one objective. Leroy Merlin wants to go mobile. Every company wants to go mobile. This is the best fashion. We all want to get good in technologies. And we decided to build the first app on this device you can see, the Bluebird. This is Android devices with an integrated scanner. So the people into the retail store can use it to scan or to do anything. The first goal of the apps was to avoid going back and forward from the desk to the shell, and so get concentrated on the customers. This goal, to achieve this goal, we took everything that was in the desk, in the legacy, and we push it into the mobile. Easy. Good strategy, or not. So that's what we did. We took all the desk, and in 1 year, in 2014, we were ready to deliver one version of this app called Back Office Mobile, because the old legacy was named Back Office. You can do stock control, you can do furniture reservation, supplier contact, you can do scanning, price, anything that could be useful for a sailor. But it was in a very big app that is very monolithic, and we managed to push almost all the features into it in just 1 year. Okay, maybe the strategy seems a bit easy, but it's not, because when you start not in an IT company to do such IT and to do mobile, you have to learn from what you do. And to get as fast as this, deliver this app in 1 year, we discover one thing: API. API is the main first thing we learned, and is the first foundation of our team. Knowing that in 2014, the API team was created. There is a dedicated app. So if you are an IT manager and you want to go mobile, you want to go fast, you have to build a dedicated team to do open data and API. This is the key to accelerate and keep mobile development independent from the legacies. So we've done this app. We have API, so we were able to deliver fast. And now let's get to the heart of the subject, the users. So we discovered the users. We decided to challenge what we've done with them. So let's discover the users. Sorry, this is not my user. This is maybe yours. Here is mine. My user is not concentrated on digital. Is concentrated on physics, on stock, on customers, on relationships, and he has no time to lose with techniques, okay? So during a quick period, we launched a questionnaire to know if they were happy, if they had satisfaction, and we discovered that only 60% of the users were using the tool and were saying to be satisfied of it. Okay, so 1 year, building a dedicated API team, a dedicated Android developer team for 60% of it. The challenge seems to be not really... Anyway, I won't finish this sentence. So we decided to launch, we do the experience of the hackathon. So in 2014, we decided to do a hackathon. What is a hackathon? You build apps into the stores with the users. This is something that seems very easy for IT companies that are full of developers, but for us in Leroy Merlin, that was a big premiere, so we had to launch this, and we just go and see what happened. So we took the UX designer, some product owners, some of the business. It's very important for you to have the business with you if you do that. And you take the developers, you go on the battlefield, and you ask them, okay, what's going on? Show me how do you use the tool? How can I help? What is your idea? And we have 3 days to make a prototype. Big success, because, for example, I will tell you a quick story about this app, Pixaveo. Pixaveo is for return. For example, if you have something that is broken, you go back to the store and you return it. And there is one guy in charge of that. What he used to do is taking a picture with his personal phone, because the Bluebirds are equipped with a camera, but he can't use it. So he'd do it with his own phone, he sent it to himself by email, he downloaded, and then he uploaded it to the legacy called Saveo. Okay, and this guy come and say, okay, I have a camera on the device, why can't I take the picture with it? And we say, when you have a team of developers on the field, the developers that you almost all are, say, you can take the picture and I can push it to the legacy automatically. Wow, this guy was so happy, and we did it. And we decided we have his satisfaction, which is the main goal, but we also decided to measure the win of time. Sorry for the French on this, but the numbers are international. So from 3 minutes approximately to do this, he only took 30 seconds winning of time, which represent more than 100 days per year. What is important here is that we managed the success of getting our users more concerned about what we do, of getting on the battlefield and get their satisfaction. But as you know, we are not living in a dream. We have the business waiting with the bazooka for this. Okay, you send 20% into stores. What's going on? What did you get? We got this, which is a win of time. And we decided that everything we do, any initiative we do, will be KPI lit. KPI is the key, the second foundation of what we believe in, performance. And this is something you can use because the business or whoever, any director, any IT or CTO, whatever, cannot fight the facts. So we have Android developers working with an API team to accelerate on the development and get quick, which is really important also. If you launch an initiative, if people wait for 6 months for it, they say, okay, I'm wasting my time and my money. So they're working with API, and they're working on the KPI-led project. So this is a good story. We now are able to deliver some application that are user-centric. We've tried to be user-centric once. So now we say, okay, let's go professional. This experience was good, but we now have, as an IT manager, I have to make it continue in time. So the third thing you have to do, once you have your KPI, your API, your team, is to define a life cycle for your product. The life cycle is very important because this is what justifies that you are getting professional to the business. And this is also what what is making the team living, okay? The team knows that 1 or twice a year, we're gonna go to the hackathon experience. So it's really easy. Don't make it complicated. UX designer and product owners are in charge once or twice a year to launch a big campaign of ideation, okay? They go to the field and say, what's your idea, what's your need, what's your problem? You don't say to the user, what do you want? You don't care about what he wants, you care about what he needs, okay? So you just ask him, what is the problem? How can I help? What is the process you're doing now? And you come back to the developers directly, showing them those problems and say, can you solve them? Quick ideation, for 1 week they try to start some prototypes, and then we go to the battlefield, to the store, and we start our hackathon. Today, this is something that we do once or twice a year. This is in the DNA of our team. And the business agree for it, and the users are waiting for it now. Don't make complex things. You do not have to say, I have to reach 100% of users to get this idea. You will not manage it. In Leroy Merlin, there's 22,000 people working. So you cannot ask them, all of them, to be involved in this. If you have some people that are very motivated to launch this initiative, just do it. And for the developers, it's quite easy to find developers for a hackathon because it's very fun and there's beer in the end of the day. So in real life, as I say, we don't live on a dream. What resources do you need? How much does it cost? Not so much. This is the cycle and the day that we spent in 2017 and 2018 to do this hackathon cycle. So you just have some UX designer in the green line working for 2 days per week for approximately a month. And they go to the field and ask the people, they try to challenge the existing tools, etc. And then they come back to the developers, and you need 5 days for a week with a team of 3 or 4 developers to rush on the prototype during the hackathon. So they go on hackathon, this is 3 days prototyping, and then in half a month, as we know that we have the good MVP, so the most valuable project, we have the good project, we have the good need, we have the people in store that are able to challenge us directly, you don't lose time. And you can project this in half a month, okay? Half a month is nothing, and this slide may seem boring, and it is, but it's important because what you have to remember is that going on the field and going focused on the user and the end point of your application allow you to fail very fast, because failure is authorized when you do a hackathon. And you know that you can fail in your work, but don't fail after 6 months. Fail after 1 month, after 1 week, after 1 day even. But don't wait for 6 months to say, oh, no, we are not in what was expected. So this life cycle is up. We get professional. And we are now able, during the rest of the time, because we don't work only for this line, we are on the top of the line, all of us, every day. So what we do is improvements. Improvements in terms of project management and the way we design the project. We design the project, even the business ones, with UX and project definition based on prototype. So we've seen that it works during hackathon. You go with a prototype, you know it's good, you can develop it. Why not doing it with the business? So you have 2 cycles that are quite the same. In the cycle Colibri, so the one with the hackathon, you have user problem and feedbacks that involve the end users, the UX designers, and they come back to the developers, still the UX designer and product owners to see it. You go on 3-day hackathon, and then the product owner is able to write down his MVP, and then it goes to the life cycle of your project. For business needs, you do the same, but you have the business requirement. You have the business requirement with the business stakeholders. This is not the UX guy that goes, but the product owner that goes taking the need. And you have a UX study just after. So just after you have this need, and you go on the field anyway with the product owner and the UX together. I forgot the user, but anyway, which is the main goal of my presentation. But oh, that's me. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you get, so you still try to do a prototype. I'm sure there will be some UX conference these days about prototyping, design thinking, anything that you can do directly with the users. This is what we try to do. And then when you write the MVP from this prototype. What's important here is that you don't care, really do not care, this is an order, do not care about what's behind, do not care about the legacy, do not care about all the processes, just go and make the prototype. And then you will connect it. You are developers, you are good in techniques, you know how to build API, you know how to do open data, you know how to fake the data even, and you just go and build your app. Okay? So this is the first improvement in terms of project management. And we also improved in terms of techniques, of course, to get even faster and faster, which is important to deliver and to spend more and more time focused on user. We have a great team of developers that have built some running process because we have more and more apps. Today we have 20 apps and 68 services working. So they build a framework, a dedicated framework on Android. They work on the container, so Docker, Rancher, Reactive, Kotlin, anything that can help the apps to be more powerful and the delivery to be continuous. Because if you go on a hackathon, you spend 3 days, you have a prototype, you even have an app because you have very great developers. Okay, if you wait for 6 months to deliver it, this has no point. Okay, you can go on the V-cycle, just wait for your requirements, and then during this time the project manager goes to the IT and say, hey, can I have this network, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't do that. You work, and this is the developer and the team responsibility to help the other team moving with it, okay? For example, if you look at Docker, Docker is more an infrastructure subject. Still, this is in the team. In my team, that developers decided to work with it, and they went to the infrastructure team, and they decided to build their own stacks and deliver it and make it run. This is your responsibility. If you want your user-centric to work, this is your responsibility to do anything you can, even working on infrastructure, on network, to make it work. We improved also in terms of organization. We used to be an agile team with some backlog, with tasks, and the developers were coming every Thursday. Okay, what should we do? What task do I take? How much does it cost? Blah, blah, blah. Now we decided to build feature teams. The advantage of the feature teams, first, is that if you have a big team, it's really easy for you, the project manager, to handle this, okay? Because you delegate the management to the product owners and lead developers. Secondly, you are much more closer to the user, even for developers, because they have one subject to focus on. If you have the developers, we used to have 1 year, and 1 year is long, where the developers were having several subjects to handle, and it was a mess. They didn't know how to evolve. They want to do good, but they just can't, because every time they take a task, it's independent from the product. So you have to be a product concentrate. What is a feature? A feature is a product. This is not a task, okay? This is a product defined with KPI, and that should not last more than 2 months of delivery. If it's more than 2 months, you got a failure in the way you worked on the feature definition. The developers are really engaged in this type of organization. They are working directly with the UX designer, where before the UX designer was more an independent speaker trying to coming with some requirements or some prototypes saying, we should do that. Yeah, we should. No, the UX guy is in the team, so we have to. Problems with this organization, I have to say it anyway, is that all the developers are working in one line. So how do they do to exchange? You have to vote or to know who are your grandmasters. We have 4. We have one architecture, one in UX, one in mobile expertise, Android expertise, and one in integration. Integration is API integration for all the services you want to address. And they are animating tribes. And what is very important is that those experts take part of the prioritization process. So you have the business, you have the product owners, you have the UX, and you have the 2 experts, technical experts. Because they have a technical backlog. They are some kind of product owners for the technique. This is a choice we have done because we always have a big technical debt. And so it's frustrating for the developers that try to do good stuff, do good work. And it's also frustrating for us because when something goes wrong, you don't want your developer to say, I told you, okay? I told you. So just listen to them as much as the business. Of course, we're not living in a dream. The business is important. You have to be focused on the business and on the users. But this technical debt, you have to allow 10%, 20% of your scale to this technical evolution. Well, so if I have one message to spread, is that you should try. As you can see in the first part of my presentation, I was just talking about an experimentation that took 3 days to a team, 3 days in store. But you have to remember that if you do this experimentation, just like a scientist would do, you have to measure it. You have to measure it to find what was good, what was not good. And this is the argument you will have for the business to trust you, to encourage you then, and to follow the lead, the lead and the wind you are trying to push. User proximity is in our DNA. It was a good work, and it was also a good way for us to become professional. Well, thank you. That was not long, I hope. Thank you for listening. So, thank you. I don't know if I have time for questions. I don't know if there are questions. If not, it's okay. No? It's okay. Thank you very much for listening and have a good day. Enjoy your takeoff.